Hello friends, welcome back to the kitchen. Case, hello. Congratulations to Seamus on being the official first. Carrie was the official second, and I saw Mina slip in there to be the official third. Welcome in also to Batwoman. Case just got here. Hera, you're gonna get stepped on, girl. Hera is like weaving in and out between my feet. I actually moved this chair out so that she can supervise if she absolutely has to. And I literally just bumped into her with my feet because she's underfoot. Doing better. Ooh, yeah, that's no fun, Batwoman. I'm glad you're feeling better now. What did Case say? I have to burn your house. Oh, yeah. That's not a fun process, but hopefully this helps you get through it, Case. You can watch me make a mess of my kitchen and feel better about how much yours doesn't look like a mess. Story of my life with Thor and Loki both. One of us is going to die, Kat. Yes. Yep, that's what Hera's doing right now. Now she's staring at me from the other side of the kitchen like, how dare you bump into my side? My supervisor is as helpful as yours, Carrie. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I've heard that Seamus has been picking your brain about writing, Case. Bougie, hello, welcome in. I see you there. I see you there. Oh my goodness, you guys. I had to actually do planning for these cookies, and I was like, this, I mean, it fits for a Christmas cookie. I always have to plan with those. But thank goodness I had the wherewithal to read this recipe in its entirety at the beginning of this week to post it in the Discord, because otherwise I would have been in an absolute panic either this morning or last night. Probably last night at like 3 o'clock in the morning when I finally remembered that I had to post it if I hadn't done so already. Start calling them sensei? Yeah. Do I frame my margins like an actual book? Don't worry, I got this. Yeah. Yeah. Everett, hello. Welcome in. Yeah, cats are something else. Cats are something else. Finished the one project and was going back to the needle felt, and Arya kept trying to get between the needle and the wool, so done for now. Oh, Arya, that's sharp. That's sharp. So yeah, we're making, and I'm about to butcher this, even though I asked Memoriam if she would pronounce it for me because she is Swedish. I am about to butcher this. We are making Pepparkakor. And I know I said that terribly. I know I did, but at least it's not the typical American pronunciation that I have heard of Pepparkakor. It's Pepparkakor. It's a Swedish Gingersnap.
Oh my lord and pancake, it's Mem.
That was very good, Mem. Hi, thank you. You're just in time for me to not be able to repeat it as you said it. You prefer Pepparkakor? It comes out of this vintage cookbook that I inherited from somebody else's great aunt who had passed away. This cookbook was published, when I can turn the page, in 1956. We're going back a few years. Yeah, it comes out. Then yesterday with your sciatica. Sciatica is no fun. You guys, if you're not following Case, 10 out of 10, you should be, because Case is amazing. And Case plays games in a very unique manner, usually involving a lot of screaming. And it's hilarious. And if you're not following Mem, you should be following Mem as well, because Mem says really funny things. Mem says a lot of funny things, and I bet that comes partially because English is her second language. Third language? Second. Screaming and swearing, that too. Yeah, Seamus has Baldur's Gate, but do I have Baldur's Gate? Nope, sure don't. So this is the recipe. If it decides to focus, it may not. It's in the Discord, though. Just one little column, as they used to write them. Honestly, this is the most detailed I've seen for, like, the 50s in a long time. To be totally fair. Incoherent things mostly, yes. But they're the best incoherent things. Characters, it's Yeah, it is old school format. It is old school format. It's not quite as old school though as, sorry, I'm apparently losing my voice all of a sudden. The Boston Cooking School cookbook from Fannie Merritt Farmer. This is probably OG. Like, how about those recipes? Like this one, and this is another one I inherited from the same random box of stuff from that lady. Like, hallelujah for kindergarten friends, am I right? This one was published. And of course, like, as every older lady does, there's a ton of other recipes tucked into said recipe book, including some handwritten ones that I will eventually try to decipher. Sarah Rolfe Fisher 1923 is on the one inside cover. That might be a printed name for reasons. 1921. This one is 1921. But the original copyright is 1896, then 1900, 1901, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 1914, and 1918. Yeah, 1930s. You were close, Case. You were close. So someday I will pick apart at this. But that's going to be a longer project because I actually am going to have to do a little research to understand how things have changed because it's been 100 years. You know, a lot has changed in 100 years. Went to the book sale and then estate sale yesterday. Got some stuff, including a book of handmade lace and patterns. And ooh, Carrie, that's amazing. It's a seriously steampunk cookbook. It's something. It's something. I adore my collection of cookbooks, and I like that I have anything from like really modern stuff to that. And then I've got kitschy stuff up here. Like I have the Stardew Valley cookbook. I've got the Pusheen Let's Bake cookbook. Come on, how can I not? You gotta have fun. Betty is done and ready. Time to do chores. Good luck. Yes, good luck with the chores. May they not completely wipe you out or be a butthead. So, Swedish Gingersnaps, aka Pepparkakor. We are going to need 1.5 cups of sifted flour, a teaspoon of baking soda, 1.5 teaspoons of ginger, 1 teaspoon cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon cloves, shoot, I forgot to set it out, 1/2 cup of butter, 3/4 cup sugar, 1 egg well beaten, and 1.5 teaspoons of what they call dark corn syrup. But considering this comes from Sweden, I am assuming, and I could be wrong, but I am assuming what they really mean is golden syrup. And if it's not golden syrup, too damn bad. Golden syrup is a corn syrup and it's dark. And I don't feel like using molasses, which is the other form of dark corn syrup. So you can also use almonds on top of these. I have decided that's optional because personally, I don't like nuts in my desserts. Not even yours, Seamus. Not even yours. Okay? No nuts. So let me grab the butter real fast because that's gonna be important. I'm just gonna do this the hard way. I felt so on top of it this morning, and then I wasn't. As it always is. 3 into the upper butter holder. Because when you open a box, you don't leave it open in the refrigerator. Recycle the box. Okay. So we have a few ways we can deal with the butter. We're gonna let it soften as much as we can. We could put a hot bowl over it. We could zap it a couple times in the microwave to make it a little easier. We could grate it. Or I can cut it into chunks and tell my mixer good luck. Because when you have a stand mixer, you can get away with some of this stuff. Hi, Ms. Van, welcome in. It's from sugarcane. Isn't that still, oh, well, I guess it's not a corn syrup then, you're right. Which would mean golden syrup's also not a corn syrup. But you know what? I bet it does the same function. Golden's probably spot on, yeah. It doesn't sound like it makes a lot of cookies. According to the recipe, it makes 7 dozen. And I'm making 2 batches. Because part of the recipe requires you to chill it for several hours. And when it says chill for several hours, that usually means minimum of 4, ideally overnight. Love from India. I'm doing good. Welcome in from India. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. So, what we're gonna do is sift together and set aside the flour, baking soda, ginger, cinnamon, and cloves, and it will all fit in this measuring cup. Then we're going to cream the butter until it's softened, which will be done in here, which is why I'm not so sure it has to be at room temperature. It's just a little bit of a pain to cream it when it's hard as a rock. While we're creaming the butter, once it's creamed, we will gradually add 3/4 cup granulated sugar and let it beat to fluffiness. Then we're going to add, gradually, beating throughout the addition, 1 egg and 1.5 teaspoons of dark corn syrup. So, I am normally, and I did this last night and then I realized, probably don't want to do it this way. Normally, I just skip the dry ingredients part and I go straight to creaming what are technically wet ingredients. Sugar is a wet ingredient. And I'll deal with the dry ingredients after because I will just sift it into the bowl. We are still sifting into the bowl, but because we need the 1.5 teaspoon for my dry spices as well as the corn syrup, aka the golden syrup that I'm going to use, we are actually going to put the dry ingredients into my measuring cup first to get that out of the way. Used to be made of beet sugar or sugar cane, so ensure it's similar to what you have there. That makes sense, Mem. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I figured it was probably golden syrup because this is something we don't actually have in the US. Not easily anyways. I mean, nowadays we can import it, but back when this was written, importing this would have been not a thing. And it is prevalent in the UK, in Australia, and probably New Zealand. So I figured the UK is very much a neighbor to the Netherlands. Probably they had access to it or a close equivalent. So that's what I'm going with. Hi, Dova. You're not late. You're all good, Dova. Can be used as a substitute, but you've never heard of it either. Oh, it's very tasty and I think it's going to be good. Golden syrup is kind of like a smoky caramel flavor. That's the best way I can describe it. That is the best way. So we're going to start with 1.5 cups of flour. Into my measuring cup. And you know this has been Americanized because unless Sweden is more like America, pretty much America is the only one that bakes with dry ingredients in the cups measurement system. So we're just going to go ahead and finger 1.5 cups of flour into this measuring cup. Gotta get my whole hand up in there. That should be about it. Ooh, finger my flour, please. Oh my God, Seamus. Oh my goodness. Problem child. Yeah, that's 1.5 cups. I'm so used to having my garbage out, and I don't. Good enough. Okay, we're gonna keep the flour out because we're gonna need it for the rolling pin later. Into this, we are going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. This is a leavening. This is a leavener. And then that'll get put away. I'm just gonna set everything that's getting put away over there. 1.5 teaspoons of ginger, not me. Thank you. 1 and a half. One teaspoon of cinnamon, which needs to go on the grocery list because I'm getting very, very, very low on cinnamon. And normally I'm very much like, you can fudge this a little bit. When it comes to spices like cinnamon, ginger, and cloves, be as exact as you can because they can be very overpowering very quickly. And then we need a 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, which also needs to go on the grocery list because I might have exactly 1/4 teaspoon in here, maybe a little more. Barely a little more. There is no salt in this recipe, which means I have no qualms with using salted butter. Mod Gopher and a production assistant. I didn't see pervert in that list, Seamus. All right, so all of these get put away. Hera's not out here, so I guess her chair is not needed. My baking soda lives up here. Ugh, these spices live over here. Do I have... Oh, the cinnamon lives over here too. I can grab that. I'm not gonna need these again, which is why I'm just putting them away as I go. Because it makes life easier when you do that. Versus waiting until you get to the end and then all of a sudden you need this space to put your cookie trays on. You're like, well, now I gotta clean first. I think, no, he washed it. I need my little whisk. Get the residual water off of it. So what I'm gonna do to just give these a loose combining before I sift them is I'm using a whisk and I'm just, this will partially sift it because it is separating things, but I wanna mix them together just to really evenly distribute the spices so we don't end up with a clump of them somewhere. And I am going to set this aside. You know what else I didn't grab? My spatula. Did not grab my spatula. There we go. Okay, so now that we've set that aside, Nebulae, hello, welcome in. Main difference between sweet... I have no idea what the difference is, Nebulae. The only reason I'm specifying is because the recipe is from Sweden. Because it's out of... Excuse me, I turned that off. It's out of the Scandinavian cookbook. And they do specifically call them something else. For all I know, they're exactly the same as regular ginger snaps, but I can't guarantee that. I'm ignoring you, Seamus. Just so you know. Just so you know. This is what I want. I did the wrong one. Now I'm good. Now I'm good to go. Beautiful. I forgot a technical thing. Okay, so the butter. The butter that is relatively fresh from the fridge and is pretty hard. Michaela, hi, welcome in. So what I'm gonna do, because I do not feel like microwaving it, and I don't feel like grating it, and I don't feel like heating up a bowl to deal with it, I am going to cut it into chunks and cream it in my mixer. Just need a kniff. There's a kniff. When you're creaming things to beat, the whisk is your friend. When you're stirring things to combine, it's the paddle. So I'm literally just gonna cut the stick into chunks to make it easier for my whisk to break it up. That's all. More surface area means it breaks up faster. The smaller a thing is, the more surface area it has. We're going back to grade school science. I can't remember if that was geology or what, but I remember learning it in grade school. The things you wouldn't expect to come in handy, but do. In a cup and pour it out, and then yeah, that is the trick with the hot dish. But I don't have time for it. I don't have the patience. So we'll just do it this way. Then turn it on high speed and wait. It'll soften. I've done this a couple of times because I usually forget to take my butter out. And we're good. There's a little bit stuck in here, but you can see it whipped. So we'll whack it off. Whack it off. Get out of there. Okay. I'm gonna scrape down the sides just to get the butter more towards the center. Squelch, squelch, squelch. Sounds of de-sticking butter sounds very inappropriate. Very, very, very inappropriate, which is appropriate for our streaming experience together. To this, I love the dancing emote. I love the dancing emote. To this, we're going to gradually add 3/4 cup granulated sugar. Man, I wish the ibuprofen I took for my joints would also help me cool off. I am like sweltering today. I may actually have to turn the air conditioner on. Because I don't know that it's necessarily really warm. I think it might be that it's really humid. Because I think it's only in the 70s, but it did pour yesterday. Okay. So 3/4 cup sugar. I'm going to put this down, lock it, turn it on low, and just stream this in. There it goes. And then I'll turn it up a little bit. Just to really help it coat all of the butter. Swish! It's been rainy all week for you, Bougie? Yeah.
It's gay chaos, and it has a name. And its name
Okay.
is Eric.
That's relatively well incorporated. Now comes the really fun part. The golden syrup. Because as you might imagine, it doesn't like to come off of the measuring spoons that easily. Ugh. Scrape it off the side, scrape it off the spatula. Erin, huh? How are you? Welcome in. You love pepparkakor? I have, like, this is the first time I'm fully making them. Yes, Jellybean, welcome in. I am. Okay, so the next step is dark corn syrup, or in our case, my beloved golden syrup. Suspenders will forever be an MVP for literally shipping me this from Australia and not being willing to take my money for it, which I'm still trying to figure out how I rectify that. Today is a work at home Sunday, so you're making tea, lotion bars, and candles. Ooh, I love that. Are you getting ready for a market, for a fair? Because I know we're coming into the holiday season, so they get more frequent. So we need, oh, I need the egg too. Egg is helpful. I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm so excited for the golden syrup. I need this. In the spirit of not having more dishes out than necessary, I need the one that was washed in the sink. We have to beat this first. 1 egg beaten. Next weekend is Crypticon in Minneapolis, a horror oh, that sounds really cool. That sounds really cool. And Minneapolis, excuse me, Shell, you don't belong in there. Minneapolis is like the right size place to be able to hold a good size version of something like that. We used to have, what did they call it? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna blank on it. I think it was the Enchanted Marketplace or something like that. But it was a steampunk fair in a city near me. But we have smaller cities. And the event outgrew the city. And then the pandemic hit before they could find a place for it to be taken over, and it just kind of died, which is a shame. You love steampunk, right, Michaela? Yeah, she shipped it to me. She shipped it to me, Wazo. Welcome in. I'm excited to watch someone else make these. Let's go. I made the first batch of dough last night because they have to chill. And I don't have anything that we could do for 4 hours to wait for dough to chill necessarily. So I was like, I'll just do double. I'll make a double batch. Okay, that is a well-beaten egg. Yeah, I think it was the Enchanted City. Okay, so we have to add both the egg and the golden syrup gradually in theory, but you know what? Shoop, in it goes. Some of this I also have to remind myself, like, this book came out in the 50s. In the 50s is when we were first really starting to see a prevalence of mechanical, electrical equipment in the kitchen, right? So prior to this, most women would have had to use hand beaters or hand beaters, or spoon or similar. So adding it more gradually to really be able to work it in would have been really important. This guy does a lot of heavy lifting. I am gonna have so many cookies. Based on the amount of dough I get, I'm like, oh my gosh, this really makes 7 dozen cookies. But considering you're supposed to roll it out a 1/16 of an inch thick, which conversion wise is about 1.5 millimeters. They're pretty thin. They're pretty thin. So we need 1.5 teaspoons of our dark corn syrup. You can use probably molasses. You could get a corn syrup. I'm going golden syrup. And then we wait for this delicious, delectable nectar to come out of the measuring spoon. Because this is not a quick process. And last night when I was doing it, because I did my wet ingredients first, like a moron, and realized I was gonna need this for the dry ingredients. I may have used 3/4 teaspoons instead. So that I did, or 3/2 teaspoons maybe, so that I didn't have to use my 1 teaspoon. Basically, I made it harder on myself than it had to be. They're super thin, yeah. But I guess the whole point of them being called a ginger snap is that they snap. So they're gonna be nice and crispy. Okay, let's see if I can get the last little bit out of here and off of here. Excellent. Scrape that onto here. Now we need the half. Now I've got some smears of cinnamon in my golden syrup, and I think that'll be okay. Probably should have wiped that off before I did that, but whatever. Life goes on. Cinnamon will be delicious with this. Ever since I saw the trick of putting a small bit of oil in, and you know, I could do that. I could. But I also could just be patient and enjoy watching this run all over the place. Because there is also something very satisfying about this. Another thing you can do if you want to make it more runny, and this is a trick I learned from Seamus for honey when we're making mead, is put together a sink of really hot tap water, like just fresh out of the tap. And then put your container in there, and it will warm it up to the point that it's more liquidy and less sticky. You've been busy but good, Eric. That's the best. I'm so glad you're doing good. I always wonder when people go more or less MIA. But I never want to pry. There we go. A delicious amount of golden syrup. Now, so that I can reopen the golden syrup, we're going to wet a paper towel and wipe down the rim. Because this stuff is just basically liquid sugar, and when it dries, it is cement. So this is how I make sure I can still open this. To decrystallize honey, my dad put the jar in a pan partially filled and slowly took it. Yes, yep, you can do it that way too. You can do it that way too. And I know microwaving it is technically another option, but microwaving I feel like will also have the effect of potentially changing the structure of it a little bit, which is why I use that as like a last ditch method. Close the golden syrup, put that away. Suspenders, I love you. Okay, so now this has to be mixed again. Mixy, mixy. Honestly, as soon as you put the golden syrup in, it smells so good. Smells so good. And then it's nice and smooth. More or less. I mean, as much as it can be when you've got a bunch of sugar in there too. So at this point, I'm gonna whack this off. And I'm done with the whisk. Get off of there. Get. Beautiful. Set that aside. We're gonna be combining, so now it's paddle attachment. We're gonna paddle it. So we're going to blend in the dry ingredients in fourths, mixing thoroughly after each addition, and then chill in refrigerator for several hours. So I ended up adding it in thirds last night because I ain't so good at eyeballing this. Actually, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to attach this yet because I don't want a facial of flour. So what I do, Nebulae, holy smokes, thank you for 3 months in advance of tier 1. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm going to add in a little bit. I'm guessing. I don't know what a fourth looks like. And then I'm just gonna mix it by hand to get the flour wet, basically, so that when I turn this on, it doesn't go whoosh. Been there, done that. Got a few flourful t-shirts to prove it. Whacking, paddling, and getting creamy up in here. We are, Dova. We are. Hubby made crock pot chicken pot pie for dinner last night. Ooh. Ooh, bubbly. That sounds amazing. That sounds absolutely wonderful. Seamus grilled us some burgers last night. And then today, I had leftover chicken tikka masala. From not last night, obviously, but I think the night before, Thursday, something like that. Again, as far as I know, you add it in small additions just to really help all of the flour get incorporated in. And again, pre-industrial mixers, that would have been more of a concern than it is today. 4 additions. And it's really not difficult to press the flour in just a little bit so that it's not going to fly back at me. Now that it's a little bit shaggy and not free-flying flour, I can turn it on and bring it together. And just give it a moment. And we're good. There it is. That's the dough. Easy squeezy. This is not a hard dough to prepare. Not difficult at all. A little sticky, but that's to be expected. That's part of why they want you to chill it for several hours, which, like I said, is a minimum of 4. And why I prepared one batch ahead of time last night so that we didn't have to try to wait 4 hours for dough to chill to then just have the fun of baking and tasting. So I do have a dough that's been chilling since probably like 10:30 last night. So that'll be good and cold. We're gonna swap them out as soon as I clean my space. Okay, so these are gonna get out of my way. This stuff gets stacked together into the sink with water because that'll help with cleaning when it comes time to get the golden syrup off of things. It's already pre-melted in water, It's so much easier to deal with. I've got cute little, you probably see it better if I do this, fluted cookie cutter. So I thought that'd be cute. Suspenders, hi! Listen, the recipe is from the Netherlands, so I made the executive decision that it had to be golden syrup. Only to find out today that Mem, who is from Sweden, has never heard of golden syrup, but fuck it, that's what we're using. I've made my decision. Clean up the excess. Garbage can. Put the sugar away. And grab the one out of ye old refrigerator. Oh yeah, that's a big difference in dough texture. It is a good taste. You just woke up. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's like, what, 6 a.m. for you? It's early. You probably haven't even had your morning coffee yet. Did I make a mistake putting it in a small bowl? Okay, there we go. I got a little nervous there for a second that it wasn't coming free. I want something to set this down on. Ugh, come here. Paper of the waxiness. Another thing that probably needs to go on our shopping list. Wax paper. Because then I don't have to dirty another bowl. We're just gonna put the next one right in here. Scrapey, scrapey. There. Excellent. Beautiful. There's butter up the handle of that. I don't even need a fresh piece of saran wrap. This will just go right back on and into the fridge in case of emergency breakable. Pepparkakor in September. What's next, Mariah Carey? All I want for Christmas karaoke. Welcome in. I have to scroll up. Super Saucerer. Listen, I've never made this recipe before, and I am considering it for Christmas, but before I make it for Christmas, I have to make it for sampling. So that's why we're making it in September. That even needs a 12-inch pianist. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Esiclus, hi, it is cookie time. It is cookie time. So this is going in the fridge. Yep, so this is literally an experiment for my future Christmas cookies. If it comes out really good, they're in. If it doesn't come out really good, I'll find something else. I have absolute faith, though, that these are gonna be delicious. I just have to make sure. Because it's the one time that you don't, that you get in trouble. And then you're like, shoot. Which was basically the eggnog crinkles in the past, which I've never made on stream, and I never ever will, because fuck those cookies. And the kaleidoscope cookies, which I think I made those a few years ago, probably on my original Christmas cookie baking streams. A long time ago. Back when I was a wee baby under a year on the platform streamer. Okay, that's full of water. Set this behind me so it's out of the way. Where are your dozens? Right here. Right here, Esiclith. They're not baked yet. I mean, I can send you raw cookie dough if you want, but you can also serve them with blue cheese or cheese platters with warm mulled wine. Ooh. That could be good. Sampling. Exactly, Wazo. A long time ago on a platform far away. Yep, pretty much. Okay, so it says, break a chunk off, I think. Remove some of the chilled dough and place on a lightly floured surface. Roll out about 1/16 of an inch thick. Okay. This is where it gets fun. Pastry cloth. For the flour and the dough. You know, we're gonna take a risk and say it won't stick to the marble rolling pin. This might be a mistake, but that's the risk I'm gonna take. So we need some flour on this so it doesn't stick to the cloth. Paired with cheese is a great idea. I never would have thought to pair it with cheese. A mulled wine though, which we actually made a mulled mead, which is essentially mulled honey wine. That actually could be really good. Okay, flour. I'm deciding how I'm breaking a chunk of this off. Can I do it with my hands? I can! Oh, let's go. Okay, it's more malleable than I expected. But I have a feeling I'm gonna be wise to take this lump and set it back in the fridge while I work with the one. I'm just gonna do this and keep it cool, because if it's anything like the chocolate crinkle dough that I do at Christmas time, the more it warms up, the more it's a problem to work with. Okay. I'm going to scoot this way so you can see. This is the other joy of using a pastry cloth. Almost needs a pasta roller to make the thing right. Thin. Very thin. They wanted a 1/16 of an inch. Maybe it won't work with I wanted the marble one because the weight of it, but I think it's sticking to it too much. And I can't really flour that. Okay. Okay, I see you. More than one way to do this. I have 2 rolling pin types. Sheathe it, flour it. Really like the image of me on stream. Oh, so that image I had a friend of mine draw. She is a fantastic artist. Down in my with thanks to, will take you to her Instagram. She's somebody I actually met in pole dance. And I appreciate her greatly. It is really cute, isn't it? For consistent thickness, now we're just gonna guess. We are guessing at this. I do most of my own graphics work. but the ability to draw is not one that I easily have. Yeah, this is working much better. So I figure we're gonna roll this thin and then go even thinner. Because a 1/16 of an inch is not that thick. It's really not. It's stupid thin. Yeah, that seems to be about it. Like, very, very thin. That might even be a little too thick. But you can see just very, very much rolled out. So I'll take it just a smidgen further. I'm guessing basically they want it paper thin. Between the baking soda and the beaten egg, it will puff up a little. So we're good there. I'm just gonna do this. So I have room for a tray. My good old air bakes. I love them so. This is the only struggle though with my amount of space. Like, this is it. What you see right here is all the space I have to work with. This is what I got. Nothing more. I actually want to put my food scale on the counter for right now. Accidentally turned it on. Now they say to flour your cookie cutter first. I've never had to do that. They do have rubber band things to put on the end of the pin, yeah. So, since I am using a pastry cloth though, I don't know how well they would work. And this gives me the full surface of the rolling pin to work with on the dough as it rolls out. I am actually going to just punch all of these. And then I'll come in and peel away. Normally, I can easily lift as I go. I don't think these are gonna spread. So I'm just gonna fit as many as I can on a tray. I thought the little bit of a scallop to the edge would be cute. That's why I am using a scalloped cookie cutter. So about 5 across. Will I re-roll this dough? Absolutely. Waste not, want not. So I don't think it says how far to space them. Yeah, roll about a 1/16 of an inch thick, cut with lightly floured cookie cutters into various shapes. Cut almonds into small pieces. We're not doing that part. Transfer to cookie to cookie sheets. Repeat with the remaining till dough and bake. Yeah, it doesn't say how far to space them, so I'm going to assume this is an I don't spread that much recipe. Oh. That one in. Yeah, I don't think I've ever rolled a dough this thin before. We're in foreign territory in more ways than one. Wouldn't it be funny if I'm calling these Swedish Gingersnaps because of the book it's coming out of? But in reality, all the ginger snaps we know just came from Sweden and is a variation on this very recipe. Wouldn't that be interesting? I wonder if that's the case. Some people have shower thoughts. I have baking thoughts. No, I can't quite get that there. Nor there. There we go. And this one. You always have inappropriate thoughts. There's no usually about that, Seamus. When you're having not inappropriate thoughts, that's when I know you're sick. Okay, so that's 15 so far. So we've already got almost a dozen and a half. Dozen and a quarter. Let me see if I can't re-roll this one part really quick before I add more dough to it. Yeah, rolling them this thin is gonna make for a lot. Jumped on the gingerbread train in the 1800s. Oh, interesting. Interesting. See, I don't do a lot with gingerbread either, because traditionally I don't care for it. So these are the little facts that I am not presently aware of. A little bit more. A little thinner. There we go. Yeah, that'll make more cookies. There was plenty of dough left in there. Someday, it is my goal, by the way, to let you have a top-down view again, you guys. That goal just... It's still in the how do I make this work discovery phase. I think I might have a solution though. I think. I just need to actually look into it completely. I may have to do like a pretend we're baking test stream to know if I figured it out properly. Okay, so it looks like I'm gonna get 20 cookies to a tray. That's decent. I'll take 20 cookies on a tray. Set this off to the side. I know you guys are in ads right now, some of you anyways. Just wanna... It is a cool bit of culinary trivia, isn't it? If this fails, you can probably get some at IKEA during Christmas season. You're probably not wrong. I don't know if we have an IKEA near us, but you're probably not wrong. Okay. Wad this up. I'm gonna mix it in with the next bit that I put down on my pastry cloth. Words fail me sometimes. Dibs. What, dibs on the cookies, Seamus? You know you're gonna get some. You live with me. It's kind of hard for you not to get some of the cookies. No, you do not get the whole first tray. That is not how this works. In no universe is that how this works. Actually, you know, I wonder if I just... You're gonna lose a little bit of my head. But if I do that just a bit. If you want to have some more Swedishness for Christmas, you can make a mulled wine with lingonberries, which you probably can buy in juice or sap. Oh, interesting. I've heard of lingonberries, but I actually don't know what the flavor of them is. Seamus and I do make mulled mead, so it wouldn't be that far to go with to use lingonberries. We might even be able to get that concentrate from like Vinter's Best or something. Can't blame him for trying. I mean, this is true, ma'am. This is true. They taste lingonish. Okay. Lingon meat is awesome as well. Oh, now I've never had lingonberries, no. They're not something I've ever paid attention to being at the store. Get another good chunk out of here. This dough is actually really nice to work with. I'm pleasantly surprised. Like once it warms up, it mushes very easily. Not common in North America, got it. Oh, they're similar to cranberry. I do love cranberry. I'm literally using the fresh bit to re-moisten the bit that has already been rolled twice. This is how I use all of my dough when I do rolled stuff to make it go further. Again, waste not, want not. Okay, set that down. This goes back in the fridge to stay chilled. And I probably should start preheating my oven. We're looking at 375 Fahrenheit, which you'll have to double check in the Discord, but I think that's 190 Celsius. Pretty sure. Start oven light on so I know I have started it at a glance. And because I'm paranoid, there's nothing inside of it. Old habits die hard, especially checking to make sure you haven't left something in the oven. Lingonberry sauce over good meatball. Ooh. There's a pancake chain called Original Pancake House that has Swedish pancakes with lingonberry. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds good. I have found the bookmark that someone was interested going to get, then to check out. Crash, you need to get some more stuff ready? No worries, Carrie. Get all of the things ready. I'm just gonna roll this dough out as thin as a piece of paper. Times like this that I wish either the island was shorter, not really, or that I was taller. Because if I was just a little taller, I would have more of an ability to leverage my weight into this because I could get up and over it as I rolled. And that is something I learned as a massage therapist, that you do less effort if you can make it come from your core and your legs and just stack your joints. Yeah, that feels thin enough. Maybe a little thicker on the ends, but I'm probably not going to be working deep into the ends because, you know, it's not going to easily fit. Well, no, I guess that does fit. Whatever. Close enough. Ultimate pancake combo for me is thin Swedish pancakes with cloudberry jam and a scoop of vanilla ice cream. More of a dessert though. Pretty sure Swedish pancakes are closer to crepes in America. And I don't know what cloudberry jam is, but it sounds good. So that's beautiful that that's seated there. Okay, let's make another tray of 20. Yeah. Jilly Bean is right. I'm going to have a lot of cookies. Which is why people in the bakery are going to be very pleased. The bakery is a section in my Discord for the people, like I hand select the people who can see this, that and implicitly trust with private information, because I am willing to send these cookies out with a little bit of help covering the costs. But that involves exchanging like payment information and address, which is not something that I'm going to give to just any random person. And I don't advise anybody else give to just any random person, right? So I call it the bakery, and it is an invite only section once I've really gotten to know people. Unfortunately, though, I can't ship outside of the country in Canada, so it's limited. It's slightly limited. More like crepes, yeah. And I love crepes. Crepes are amazing. I need to make crepes again soon. I haven't done that in a while. Fresh fruit. Oh, we can? We can, Seamus? More in Arctic climate and marshes. Oh, interesting. I'm curious. I'm curious to try lingonberries, and I am curious to try cloudberries. Don't know what I would do with them, but I'm curious to try them. About 6 pounds for a batch of mead, $78. That's not terrible. But we would have to be ready the day that they arrive to cook them down and get them in. But that is not terrible. My Mormor always ate them by smothering them in butter, then shaking a thin layer of granule. Oh my goodness, these or crepes? Because I don't see how you would roll these up. Swedish pancakes. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, did she eat the dough raw? No, that makes a lot more sense. And sounds delicious. That's how it normally goes. It sticks in the cookie cutter, and I'm able to lift it into my hand. That's what I'm used to. I think it only works as well, though, with thicker rolled dough. At least easily. All right, I do. I need to turn this on. I am melting. I am melting like the Wicked Witch of the West. So the thing with PayPal is it does give your private information out. Yes. It gives your name. And I am just very cautious about that because I have a very common name, or a very uncommon name. So I try to be mindful. Okay, there's another 20. So that's 40. We're almost up to 4 dozen. Either I'm rolling these really thin or they underestimated this recipe. Heat up to 65 was a bit chilly in the house. That's fair. That's fair, Carrie. Don't blame you. I'd rather know now than later. Or they cut them larger. That's also possible. They could use a bigger cookie cutter. I think this is a good size cookie cutter, though, for these little guys. All right, let me get the next tray out and start it, because I can always set them off to the side, because I still have a little bit of dough here to work with. My OG air bakes. Okay. We'll roll this back out. Mostly find them in heart or circles in stores here. And that's what I figured. Hearts or circles makes sense. Circles was what I was thinking of, and I was like, I'm gonna make them fluted so that they're not just basic bitch circles. It's tradition to make way too much. You know, fair. Fair. The nice thing is, when it does come time for making these for Christmas, if they prove to be a perfect recipe for that, which I'm pretty sure they will, I'm only gonna need like 1 batch. I'll probably have to make 2 though, because when you have to use 1 whole egg in a recipe set, you cannot cut that in half. I mean, technically you could if you wanted to figure out how much egg content by weight and then split the weight in half, but I ain't got time for that. Sticking, which means we need more flour on the rolling pin cover. Try to roll it back together. There we go. That'll do. Test before you really need it. Exactly, Carrie, yeah. Because the worst thing is when you really need it and then it doesn't work and you're like, well, fuck. Just give Seamus the rest of the dough to eat, right? Right? I throw my leftovers in the ice cream maker. Oh. Oh, saffron and raisin buns sound really interesting. We don't have an ice cream maker presently, but that does sound good to put cookie dough pieces in there. Do you pre-cook your flour to make sure that it's okay? Or do you, like, I'm not gonna assume where you live, but I know here in the States, we have to be mindful of our flour because sometimes it gets contaminated with salmonella. So we have to, pre-bake it. Just stay together, little cookie. You might automatically be Seamus's if you come out broken. That'll be okay. We're gonna have plenty of cookies. Okay, now we need another chunk. I wish you could refer people to the bakery, Esicles, but we can't. But if you have somebody in mind that you think should be a part of it, like message me, because they just might not be in the Discord yet. The old one broke the week before we got our... Oh my God, Carrie, that's terrible. It's a texture thing. That's fair, Seamus. But baked cookies is also great in it. Oh, yeah, Robin's not in the Discord because I looked for her. So if she rejoins the Discord, I will absolutely add her in. We had a weekend of space heaters and blanket piles, but it died there. Oof. Ray, hi! In your mouth. I think you and many people. Let me set this off to the side so that I can get another hunk. Since these only take 6 to 8 minutes in the oven, I don't want to put them in right away. I'm gonna get all 4 of my trays and then I'll start cycling them through. Robin, please, right? Right? And I feel like she was in there at one point and she may have accidentally left. Because I know sometimes, like, you join a ton of different Discords because you're just hanging out with so many different people, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, I have too many and I have to reduce the number. And so you try to get rid of the ones that you just aren't active in. So, like, I never have any hard feelings when I see people have left because I figure they needed to make room or they forgot what this was and it's no skin off my back. Like, this is not the kind of thing I'm going to be up in arms about. But yeah, for the sake of me keeping track of this stuff, that has to be all in one place. Bolden, hi! How are you, friend? Build a sandcastle and live like royalty, right? I friggin' love you, Bolden. Thank you, Essiclus. I was just about to try to type that with one hand. Ugh. I'm gonna try to make it so that this one and then the next chunk will be the last. Ugh. Why are they... Who's making a weird beeping sound outside? Okay. We're not setting anything on fire, Seamus. We're not setting anything on fire. Wrong stream. That's played up sometimes only. Setting your heart on fire. Okay, fair. Fair. Bolden can set your heart on fire. Stretch it nice and thin. Oh yeah. Spin it. Get my bangs to stop tickling the bridge of my nose.
It's Wonk Tootie. She's a potato.
Nice and thin. Nice and thin. Tootie! Hi! The baking is going well. It's my favorite potato. It's the plate up master herself. Somebody said ooh ooh to something. Oh my gosh, hanging out would be amazing, Bolden. Someday. Someday we will make that happen. Wazzo, thank you for 3 months in advance. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Now all the cool kids are here, right? To being stretched thin. Oh, absolutely, Essiclus. Absolutely. Listen, I say all sorts of random crazy things while I'm baking that are probably easy to make inappropriate. And considering the community I have, it almost always is made inappropriate. There's that. Letters for your shirt design. Now it's time to peel, stick, and iron. Let's go, Bubbly. Let's go. Oh my. That's right. Seamus, you're cool too. He's my cool kid. He's my cool kid. Us inappropriate? Never. No. No, we're definitely not making dick jokes about the cock and phasmophobia. I can speak, really. Case definitely doesn't name all of their characters daddy. D-A-D-D-I-I? D-A-D-D-I-I? Something like that. I know it's spelled with I's at the end. Seamus, thank you for the giant emote. Most wholesome, family-friendly community. Family-friendly in the education of baby making. getting all worked up over you're talking about that thick cock. Right, Bolden? Right? Okay, that's 60 cookies. How much is 7 dozen? 7 times 12. Well, 5 times 12 is 60. So we're at 5. Plus 24, 84 cookies. Thank you, Seamus. I was almost there. So 4 trays will be almost 7 dozen. And we still have a hunk of this. Most Christian-friendly family stream. This is a Christian Minecraft server. Let's make some babies. Chef is cock in Swedish. I love that. I am the Swedish cock today. Let's go. I'm here for it. I am here for it. Cookies. And hair sticking to me everywhere. Papa Smurf, hello! Thank you for the Mexican long fart. A wall hanging to go with the anklet could... Oh! There's a thought, Carrie. That the anklet that is now the cock ring around my microphone. Papa Smurf, I don't hear Jack Diddley fuck all because for whatever reason, so I use a screen sharing service through Google to transfer what my desktop is seeing to my laptop so that I can control OBS and do this. And my camera is over a Wi-Fi connection. It used to be that Chrome Desktop, which is the application, would transfer the sound to my laptop and I could hear. And then one day, that function just stopped. And it didn't just stop for me. When I Google it, everybody's like, why doesn't this work anymore? Why don't I have sound anymore? I don't understand this. And nobody knows how to turn it back on. So until I figure out how to make my computer accept my typical Bluetooth earbuds, I can't really hear anything. Rude. What's up, Papa Smurf? It scared the crap out of you, though. Well, Papa Smurf got somebody then. Papa Smurf got somebody then. How was your Sunday, Papa Smurf? Welcome in. Yeah, that's why I have pinned at the top of chat the little note that alerts I really can't hear. I see things pop up in chat is really how I know that something happened. Dark Twerk! When did you subscribe, Bolden? Did you just silently do that? It's extremely lazy, so great. Hell yeah. That must mean you didn't have to work today. Papa Smurf is one of those fine, lucky individuals that has to work with the general public. So, we all know how that goes. The audacity of you thinking that I read. Crazy guy, hi! Welcome in, how are you? Gotta roll this next bit out. Papa Smurf, I'm sorry, but these are not snickerdoodles. I'm gonna put that audacity out there right now. They're not snickerdoodles. I have learned that snickerdoodles are probably Papa Smurf's favorite cookie, which is a good choice. Snickerdoodles are delicious. More in sending them out. I mean, I don't know. Maybe next weekend? Not sure. Haven't decided. I just made a whole bunch of snickerdoodles that went to camp with me for my family in August, so they're on cooldown right now in the rotation. Make some sandwich with some of the cookies. Snickerdoodles would fuck right now, right, Jellybean? I could, in theory, make some sandwiches. I just don't know. What would you put in the middle of these? Just basic buttercream? I'm eating a hot dog on a toasted butter bun with sauerkraut, sauteed onions, and black garlic on top. You're gonna make people evacuate the room in about 3 to 4 hours? I bet you will, crazy guy. I would make people evacuate the house in 15 minutes if I ate that. Because the garlic would hit the IBS, and nobody wants that. Twitch Underground Cookie Smuggler. Now that's gangsta, right? Right? Jam. Ooh. That could definitely be interesting. An apple butter would probably also be really good, you know? Yep. This is the one skill I will forever brag about to people. I am a good baker. For a home baker, I do a damn good job. Pretty much everything else I'll be very humble about, but not my baking skills. We all have that one thing that we're just like, yup, I do this well. Thank you, crazy guy. Thank you for the lurk. Gonna go do something with my life. Have a good stream. Hope the treats come out exquisite. Absolutely, Papa Smurf. I appreciate the lurk. Thank you for stopping by and for dropping biddies on a blurp. Appreciate you. Ugh. This recipe is also a good one to get a quick taste test in since they bake so quickly. They also cool. Oh, that's probably true. That's probably true, Jilly Bean. Lurk and stare at my beautiful face. God, have beautiful stream friends. Thank you, Bolden. Enjoy your lurk. I appreciate you. Lurkers are the backbone of Twitch, so I will always appreciate when my friends and just anybody really come in to lurk. There's never an obligation to join the chat. That's why I have anonymous follows. Because I don't want people to feel like they have to say hi if they really just want to be reminded when I decide to bake. You know? Or if they're here to watch me play video games poorly, or whatever their choice of entertainment is. Let's roll this out. I normally wouldn't roll this a third time, but I literally need one more for this tray. So I just wanted to get that one more for this tray. See, to me, maybe that's more the 16th of an inch. I may have been making these way too small. Okay, we've got 4 trays together. We still have some more to go, but this is 80. This is 80 cookies out of the 84 that it promised to make. We're gonna put the first tray in the oven. 6 to 8 minutes. We're definitely probably only gonna need 6. 6 to 8 minutes at 375 Fahrenheit, which I believe is 190 Celsius. I need to put a timer on my phone. 6. Done. Okay. First tray going in. And then we start the timer and we have water. I love the dancing jester emote. I love that. Water never tastes so good than when you're dying of heat. Or rather, I guess it's really humidity that I'm struggling with, because I want to say it's only like 74 Fahrenheit. Oh, it's 69 Fahrenheit outside. Okay, that's somewhere around like 18 Celsius. I'm so excited to try them, Jelly. I nibbled on a little piece of dough last night and it was really good, so I'm very excited for how they actually taste. Nice. Exactly. Sorry, it's you. You have this effect on women? Then I would have melted a long time ago, Seamus. It's that or I developed an immunity. I'm out of water. Give me a second. I need to rinse my hands so that I can actually unscrew the lid. They're too floury. Too floury, will slip. Need more water. One thing's for certain, I won't be dehydrated. Not the immunity! I'm standing here, aren't I? I have not sweat to death in your presence. I still can't open it. Got it. Where there's a will, there's a way. I personally like a little bit of lemonade powder in it. Just enough to make the water not taste like chlorine, because it is a chlorinated source. And I find personally that a filter doesn't do enough. So, little lemonade powder, it is. And then I need ice because I want it to hurt while I swallow it. That's the level of cold that I like my water at. The same reason I like carbonated beverages, especially when I have a sore throat, because it scratches all the way down. I'm gonna have to refill my water container too. That way there is some when I go for it next. This is my typical day of baking, is while I'm waiting, I'm doing all the other tasks. Fill her up. Okay. It's much easier to have cold water if it's already cold from the fridge. Ugh. Ooh, they're puffing up cutely. You're doing a nice job in the oven. Excellent. We'll fill her up. Ooh, you'll fill her up. Let's go, Bolden. You and Seamus are gonna be racing for it. And I use the straw to mix it. Perfect. Minute and a half. Minute and a half on tray numero 1. Delaying doing dino baby check, putting away laundry instead. How many dino babies do you expect to find in there, Carrie? Because I know your breeding projects in ARC are massive. They're massive. Carrie, someday I should get you on Pal World for breeding projects, because I bet you would take the time to breed all of the perfect traded pals. I bet that would be right up your alley. God, I have to do laundry today too. Not as bad as penguin What was the penguin apocalypse? How many penguins did she breed? 10 or so active and several that you're working towards. Oh my God. And how many, like, is that 10 babies a day or 10 an hour? That was not you? Who was it then? 10, oh my God. That's a lot of babies. We had a base mate who left breeders unattended and they laid so many eggs it crashed the server. Damn. All right. Have a little spin. Little twist. I need oven mitts. These should be done. They're so thin, I can't imagine they would need more than the 6 minutes. You know, I'm gonna give them one more. I'm gonna give them one more. Give them another 60 seconds in there. Abby and I went to clean it up in admin mode and we were working at less than 10 frames per second. I would have been trying to look into like the code or something to just delete them. Like, is that even possible on the server? And I'm not spinning you guys back around because it's literally 60 seconds that I'm giving them. They still felt a little doughy on top, and I may give them one more minute beyond this. So we're up to 7 minutes. I really figured because they were so thin that it wouldn't take more than the 6, but I think I'm incorrect. 10 seconds. I'll have a few hundred eggs or babies to go through, but since they're separate terminals, not terrible. Oh my God, Carrie. I don't have the patience for that kind of a breeding project. Okay, now I think they might be crispy around the edges. Yes. 7 minutes. 7 minutes is our golden time. Let me real quick change that on my phone so that it's just ready to go. 7. Done. Pop that there. Next tray. Bada bing, bada boom, hit the start button. And then I can come back around. We'll wait for a few minutes. Actually, probably I'll let them just sit on the tray for a bit. You can smell them. I would hope you can smell them. Like, the oven's literally next to your office. I would hope that you could smell them, Seamus. They do smell good, though. They do smell good. Just debating on how, I may not leave them on this tray for very long. To TiVo, and they're having fun also. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that, Carrie. Yeah, I think I actually want to take them pretty much right off the tray. When they cool down, Seamus, you can have one, and not a second sooner. You're not burning your mouth on hot ginger snap. The little scalloping on the edge is adorable, as I expected it to be. They puff just a little bit, which is also what I expected. So probably when the next tray comes out, these ones will be cool enough to sample. That's my guess. Like Jilly said, they're not going to take long to let go of their heat. And they really don't spread, so yeah, 20 on a tray, no problem. None at all. Beautiful. So we'll let this tray cool off. Shink. Slide it back around here. I did read your mind. It's almost like I've been living with you for a decade, almost. We have been together that long. Oh, the thing that I bake on up here? Yeah, this is an island. They puff upwards rather than out. Yep, that's what it seems like, Jilly. It's not big enough to be a continent. Good Lord, Seamus. You weren't able to delete them in that scenario. That sucks. That sucks. I need chapstick as well. Much better. Chapstick, more water. I am gonna need so many bathroom breaks to deal with the literal amount of water that I'm drinking, probably. Yeah, that little chunk, that should be fine. Should remoisten with the last bit. We're getting at least a tray per, so we're gonna get a little over 7 dozen. So I thought I was rolling them too thin, but now I actually think I rolled them just thin enough. Just thin enough. Because in theory, I should only get 4 more. I'm estimating 20 and change, I think I'll get. So yeah, I'm gonna get like an extra dozen out of it. But that's not too much extra thin. Or like Seamus said too, it could be a different size cookie cutter that they use. They could have used a bigger one. Hi, Smeagol. Smeagol, it is 5 o'clock. You have an hour before dinner. Yeah, a whole hour, bud. Sitting at my feet is not going to get you dinner faster. He's conveniently not looking at me as if he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, Mom. I'm not here. I'm not sitting at your feet. Totally not this cat. Bless you. Yes. I hear your snuffleupagus. I do, Shmoo. I do. Because he's got feline herpes, so he's got a chronic sinus infection. It is not contagious to other cats. From what we were told by the vet, it just means that he sneezes a lot and gets boogers everywhere. You know, the fun stuff. Okay, Seamus, they're cool enough to eat. They're beautiful. So nice and thin. Can you hear it crack? A little bit. Mmm. Mmm. It's a reminiscent flavor, and I'm not sure of what. But I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, Seamus? Okay, Seamus. They are really good. They're not as... There he goes, taking a second one. They're not as spicy as I was expecting, with all of the cinnamon and ginger and cloves and stuff in it. Like, it's nice. I'm trying to think of what the flavor reminds me of. But I can't place it. I can't place it, but they're really good. It is. It's muted in the best way. I was fully anticipating, because I am not somebody that likes cinnamon. I was fully anticipating that I would try these and be like, no, these aren't for me. Now you want Christmas? It'll be here before we know it, ma'am. Speaking of, it's gonna be tilted. It's just the way it is. One comes out. They're also like, I was expecting a very solid, crunchy cookie, and they have just a hint of chewiness to them. Maybe it's they're not 100% cool, and they're just like 90% cool, but I was expecting more of a, like a crunch. Yes, booty. They're subtle, not as spicy as commercial ones. Well, Good, because I don't like how spicy commercial ones are. This is officially a winner of a recipe. Whedon does this very well. Hallelujah. Yep, these are going in the Christmas cookie repertoire. And I like them just as they are. Without any almonds on the top. No embellishment, just a plain warm brown cookie. And I have a lot of different colors in my cookies, but warm brown is not among them. So this will stand out on its own. All right, we will officially be able to make it the 12 days of Christmas cookies. I'm gonna have to coordinate with my sister, probably starting next month, to make sure she can be here for the Iwans. Thought I had eaten ginger snaps before, but I think I've just had a lot of snickerdoodles and molasses cookies and conflated those with the snaps. It's possible, Nebulae. It is possible. And I mean, snickerdoodles are wonderful. They are in my top 3 cookies. I love snickerdoodles. And put them on top of those. People have suggested that, and I think it was you did in a voice call, Wazo, and I was like, I don't know if I want to go through that effort. Yes, look at the dancing snowman. Is that a headbanging Santa? It absolutely is a headbanging Santa. I love that. So, snickerdoodles are cinnamon and sugar. And it's very subtle. It's very, very subtle. So they're more like a really nice... God, they're snickerdoodle flavor. I don't even know how to describe it. Because I would say like cinnamon sugar toast, but they're better than that. What is this one, Carrie? Oh my God, the witchy potato's cute too. And the little applause thing. Oh my God, so adorable. We gotta take this off of the tray. Swingy swing. Swingy swing. I like how thin they are. They're a low profile cookie. My dad actually made the snickerdoodles recently, and he decided that they were quote unquote too sweet. And so he basically doubled the cinnamon that he rolled them in. And my brother was like, these are terrible. Like, these are not how snickerdoodles are supposed to taste. And Dad was like, well, they're not as sweet now. My brother, I think, just rolled his eyes and walked away, because my dad has this bad habit, like, love him to pieces, mean it. But he has this bad habit of thinking he knows better than a recipe, and he just modifies it. He modifies a perfectly good thing because he can do it better, and he doesn't. The number of things that I would no longer eat as a child because my father started to experiment with them are innumerable. Like, there came a point where we had to give specific instructions to my dad when he would make dinner and make the meatloaf of, you are only allowed to add in X, Y, and Z. Because he once made a meatloaf, and into the loaf of meat, where you normally just put, some spices and an egg and whatnot. No, not Dad. No. He put Worcestershire sauce, ketchup, mustard, I think a little bit of relish, like he was making a hamburger. It was god-awful atrocious. And we're not even talking like good mustard or anything. We're talking about French's yellow mustard. And a lot of it. It was so bad. Oh, stroopwafels are so good. They are super easy to pile into containers and ship out. I believe it. They're gonna be very easy to ship. Oh my goodness! I'm gonna make sure I say this right. Darimgar, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome on in, Raiders. My name is Saknika. You may also hear me called Sam. I'm a member of Everbright Global Gaming and Set the Tone stream teams and a variety streamer here on Twitch. And today, I'm baking. We're making ginger snaps, Swedish style, Pepparkakor, which I am butchering but trying my best. Welcome in, everybody. How are you? What were you making today? I see that you were also in the food and drink category. All the shout outs, that's right. All of them. We got a minute on the clock till the next tray comes out, and then we should be French onion soup. Ooh, that sounds really good. Welcome in, Trash Can Cat Mom. What a great name. What a great name. That's fantastic. I'm gonna have to check you out, Darimgar. Am I saying that right? French onion soup is so good. I have tried to like it for years, and it's too like salty for me. I can't get past how salty French onion soup tends to be. I guess I don't like onions and cheese as much as I thought I did. But that's okay, because it means more French onion soup for Seamus. Seamus is my actual fiance. He does live with me, or rather I live with him. So we are sharing of like one brain, basically. If he says weird things, he's harmless. I picked him. I picked him out of all the weirdos out there. He is my weirdo. Oop. And that's time. Spinny spin. Spinny spin. Okay. One tray out. Ugh. And into the little tray holder and the next tray in. And when this one comes out and gets put on the cooling rack, the cookie rack, the cooling rack, I will be able to start rolling out the last of the dough. Start the timer. French onion hamburgers are good. Ooh, that does sound interesting. I haven't been eating a bunch of salt lately, trying to cut. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I understand that, a salt-heavy diet. Raiders, if you need to raid and run, if you need to get post-stream self-care, if you just plain have other things to do on a Sunday afternoon, I totally understand. Would love the lurk, but appreciate you for coming in regardless. And if you have to go, if you have to get other things done, no worries. Do what you gotta do. I appreciate you coming in though on the raid. That is amazing. Now Seamus needs to do is just stealthily sneak in the kitchen and grab a tray of cookies without me looking. Yeah, no. That will never happen. Ever. Thank you so much for the follow. Way ahead of you? Yeah, no, he's not. He would like to think that he could sneak in here and steal a tray. But he knows better. He knows that that comes with the punishment of losing a limb. Let's take these off of the tray. Speaking of, still not convinced that these trays don't cook a little longer or darker, faster. These are much darker than the other ones. I'm pretty sure that Nordic Ware did the best that they could to replicate Tefal's air bake trays without basically stealing the design and the patent. But I think between it being a light metal versus a dark metal and the way they did the pockets on the bottom, they do cook differently, time-wise. So I'm gonna take that tray out a minute earlier. 6 minutes is gonna be more appropriate for the dark colored trays and 7 for the light. So this potentially overcooked tray could all be Seamus's. Because yeah, that's a difference in color. Without touching the tray and burning myself. Because nobody wants that. Most of all me, I definitely don't want that. Spin. The cats give them away. The cats do give them away. And my vigilance. Oh, delicious. Water is so delicious. Let me start flouring my surface here. Prep for the final block of cookie rollout. You can't get away with shit. It's true. He enthralled himself to me, by the way. Drinking Mountain Dew flavored water. Interesting. Do you use the like little Mio drops? Or are you just saying you're drinking Mountain Dew and there's water in it, therefore you volunteer to distribute? Pretty much. Pretty dang much. Flour the surface, flour the rolling pin so the dough doesn't stick. Let me go grab the dough. Thunk. About 90 seconds. The latter, Mountain Dew, therefore there is water. It was one of the two, Bubbly. It was one of the two. Yeah, we're just gonna do this whole hunk. I'm not gonna split it. Diabetes. That's right. That's right. Ugh. What are my cookies putting you to sleep, Seamus? I heard you yawn in there. Diabetes. Where are we at? Minute 50. Get this into a roughly cylindrical shape. This can go in ye old garbage bin. About 30 seconds. You have to go back to work tomorrow? Rude. Yeah. I have a client tomorrow and I'm grateful that I can actually see the client because I had injured this hand and I can finally like do this again and more or less put pressure on it. So huzzah for that. Delete the timer. Up. Swing. Pull the tray. Yeah, that's better looking. I'll let that sit while I roll this out, and then I'll take them off. Then I'll take them off. Whoop! I know you get some real close-up shots of my nose when I'm moving between the two. Whee! That's right. Ooh, most of your weekend was dealing with back pain. That's no fun. Cause known or unknown? Because it's at least a little bit better if you understand the cause. Because usually if you know what the cause is, you can either do something about it or you have a little bit more acceptance of it. In my experience, anyways. And to think, I have a whole other batch of these to make yet. They're just not going to be ready for a little while. So I'll do them on my own time tonight. Or tomorrow when I get home from work, you know, either way. That's one of the nice things about chilled dough. You have a little bit more time to work with stuff. Lentil soup set to simmer until the golden potatoes and lentils. Ooh, that sounds amazing, Dova. Oh, from sciatica, sitting on the floor with the... Ugh. Sciatica, such a problem. Do you know if it's from your SI joint or from your piriformis muscle? Smells so good in here. I bet, Dova. I had a lot of pain in my neck. Then I got a divorce and felt a lot better. Well, that's always a plus, Seamus. Let's de-tray these. Take them off. Yep, cutting it short by a minute. Solved it for the darker trays. Now I know. Now I know. I'm sort of running out of room on my cooling racks, though. Yeah, and these are definitely cookies that you have to get them off while they're still a little warmer. They're more prone to breaking. I can feel it with the ones that have already potentially cooled down a little too much. Like this one that is, in fact, cracking. Oh, over here. Over here. And these ones are just going to have to sit on top because I'm out of direct space. That's okay. They'll be fine. Means I'll have to put some in my cookie jar. Woo! Cookie jar. No longer empty. 4:20 p.m. Let's go. Blaze it. I do not, but it's mostly in my lower back hip area. I mean, go help with making room, right? He could. He could come get some cookies. There is technically a test that somebody else could do with, it's called a straight leg differential, I believe is what it's called. Where you lay on your back and keeping the knee straight and the foot plantar flexed, you raise the leg up and you see if you get the pain. And then you repeat it, I think when you dorsiflex the foot and you bring it up. I believe that's how you do it. And see when the pain actually hits. That might also just be for hamstrings. There's a way to tell. I haven't run any of these tests for a very long time. It's not a common part of my practice, so my brain is rusty. Yeah, plantar flexus, toes pointed, exactly. Oh, yes. I was like, why are you telling me this? I know what I'm talking about. That's why. That makes sense. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. But basically, you should be able to go to probably a physical therapist, Bubbly, and they would be able to tell you. Okay, we're not gonna sneeze after all. Thought I was. With all the flour in the air, it wouldn't it wouldn't surprise me. You'll translate the medical terminology. Appreciate it. I was trying to have my hand in so that you could see. It's really interesting because normally we have flexion and extension, and flexion is like bending your knee, and extension would be, this is going to come as a great shock, extending it. So you've got, let me see if I can get back far enough. Flex, extend, right? But with your feet at the ankle, they don't call it flex and extend. They call it dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. Which direction are you bending in? It's very strange. Yep, dorsal means top, basically, and plantar means bottom. That's why it is a dorsal fin on the dolphin, because they're so creative, it's on top of the dolphin. All these Latin names for things sound so fancy and cool until you realize that they're just literal translations. They are the most unimaginative names pretty much out there. You love words, right? Right? Yeah, it's amazing. Most mussel names just describe the mussel in Latin. Some of them are nicknames. Like, we have one mussel, it's called sartorius. It is in your leg. It's what allows you to sit with one leg crossed up so that your ankle is like on your knee, basically. And it's named that because it's the tailor's muscle. Sartorius is that's literally what it means, the tailor's muscle. And it's because that's the way tailors tend to sit back in the day. Like I said, real creative old scientists. It is all Latin, yup. Latin like these nookies. Hail Caesar. Got him, bubbly. Okay. That's 100. That's tray number 5. I still have that, like, want to sneeze tickle in my nose, but nowhere near a sneeze. Hail the victorious dead, right? I don't think we're going beyond this tray, though. So I think it's just going to be these last 2 trays. And I highly doubt that the dough that is in the fridge is ready to go. I highly doubt it. I don't think we're working together with that one on stream. I will check it, though. I will indeed. I have to say, though, this dough is really nice to work with. Once you get it broken apart and you warm it up just a tad, it is fantastic. These fluted cookie cutters, phenomenal. Work great. We who are about to die eating cookies salute you. Oh my God. If my cookies murder you, I claim no responsibility, but also there are worse ways to die. There are far worse ways to die. "99 rounds of cookies on the tray, 99 rounds of cookies. Take one down and pass it around, 98 rounds of cookies on the tray." Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. There are just a few. It's just a few cookies on the tray. Not even that many. Whoop. Rude. Probably should reflour the rolling pin if it's doing that. I would have hoped that by now, on its second rollout, the dough was not going to stick. But that's okay. We have solutions. Ugh. That'll do. Means bending down to pick up clothes. Ooh. Yeah. I am grateful that Seamus follows suit with me to just get all of our laundry into one hamper. And then I dump it in the wash. And then my mother rolls in her grave because I have not separated out the whites, the darks, and the lights. I'm just washing them all together like a heathen. But I have not got time to run like 3 different loads, 3 small loads, mind you, to separate out my clothing. It'll be fine. Has been thus far. Gasp, the horror, right? Toe grabbing, yeet it up with the leg, pro gamer moves. I've been known to do that. I've got prehensile monkey toes. I can grab anything. Sounds dangerous. Only if you lose your balance, really. I just need a heating pad that is Bluetooth or something so you can wear it until it dies. Honestly, that's brilliant, Bubbly. Why don't they make a heating pad that has like its own rechargeable battery or something that you can just wear? They have to make something like that, don't they? I'm gonna see if I can get 5 more cookies out of this for an even 120, aka 10 dozen of these cookies. If I end up with 20 dozen ginger snaps, Lord help me. I think I can roll this out to get 3 more cookies. Time to go look on Amazon, right? You know what your middle name is. Wobbly? We do child laundry, adult laundry, towels, sheets, and I don't know, whatever. Why do we have to do? That's amazing, Wuzzo. That last category is fantastic. Yeah, we do weekly. We have the I wore this category for our clothes that has 1 wash setting. And then probably like every 2 weeks, I wash all the towels in the bathroom and washcloths and stuff, and that has its own setting. And once a month, I wash the bed sheets. That's it. That's my laundry regimen. 3 cookies. 1. 2, 3. Yep. And I'm not going to re-roll the dough one last time. We're just going to stick it for 120 cookies total. 10 dozen ginger snaps out of one batch. And I have another batch yet to go. Seamus, do you want the dough scraps? You make good soup, Dova. Let's go. Gochujang for a little boost of flavor and heat. Oh, nice. Yeah, this is what I have left for dough that either Seamus can eat or I'm just going to toss because there's no point in hanging on to it. So we've got 2 cookie sheets to run through. And I don't know why I suddenly got like all congested. I wash the bedding and everything like that twice a month. Once at the beginning and then at the end. That's fair. That's fair. Your mom is gasping at eating raw dough. Hasn't killed me yet. So good. It's so good. You have to just enjoy it sometimes. Send me a DM? Absolutely. All right. I'm gonna put a tray in. And then I need to put some in my cookie jar, so I'll just have you guys over here for a minute. Bubbly, I can see your DM on my phone. Oh, I don't need these yet. And the irony of that does not escape me. Okay. Timer start. Fill the cookie jar. That's what I'm good at. That's why I identify as a 90-year-old grandma who has to have a full cookie jar. I don't know what it is, but there's just something about my cookie jar being full that gives me a very cozy sense of home. And it might be because when I would visit my grandparents on my dad's side, my grandparents on my mom's side didn't live very long in my life. My grandmother always had this specific cookie jar, actually, that I'm filling right now, right as you entered the door. And while she really only baked cookies at Christmas time, there were always cookies in this, whether she went and bought a package of like Keebler fudge stripes or Chips Ahoy, like whatever she happened to be in the mood for, she would just buy a package and empty it out into the cookie jar. And that was what we were allowed to grab from, so long as it wasn't within an hour of dinner. Sometimes we filled it with cookies we baked together. They were always the Pillsbury slice and bakes, but we still made them together with Grandma. And those things are actually pretty tasty for what they are. She's a stickler for food safety. You didn't eat raw dough until your 20s. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, I understand. I ate so much raw cookie dough as a kid. Show us the jar. Grandparents had a jar with M&Ms in it. They lived next to your K through 2 school, so you went, oh yeah. This is my grandma's old cookie jar. And now it's got most of the ginger snaps in it. Thankfully, they are so small and low profile that I will be able to fit literally all of them in here until I ship some out. Or bring some with me to bowling or my dad's house. So funny story about food safety and food poisoning, Wazo. Your mom will probably get a kick out of this too. When I was in first grade, I'm pretty sure it was first grade, we made gingerbread houses in school. And I mean, they were nothing special. We made the gingerbread ourselves-ish. It had to have been some sort of modified recipe. And they gave us the egg white sugar mixture, of course, to glue it all together. And we had literally just gone over how raw egg can give you salmonella and whatnot, and how salmonella can be dangerous and it's killed people. And my little 6-year-old brain took that to mean raw egg equals salmonella equals death. We glued on all of our gumdrops and our candy pieces, and we got to take them home eventually to our parents. And I wanted to eat that thing so bad. I wanted that sugar so bad. And I finally caved like 3 or 4 days later, and I started pulling the gumdrops off and eating them. And then I hid under my kitchen table and cried because I was going to die from salmonella because I ate the raw egg white thing. Obviously, I didn't die, but my little 6-year-old brain really thought I was a goner because I couldn't resist the sugar craving. Yeah. I have since learned that, like, salmonella is, of course, not a good thing, but it's not nearly as dangerous as I thought it was. Yeah, exactly, Wazzo. Exactly. This can go, well, you know, I might as well leave this out. How is that other dough looking? Are you really already together? No way. No way. Yeah, it's still a little sticky, but it's so damn close. I was almost like, you gotta be shitting me. We could work with this now, but no, not quite. Not quite. So close, but not quite. So yeah, I will do what is probably gonna be the next 10 dozen on my own time, probably tonight. So I'm actually not going to put any of this away because I'm gonna need it. So there's no point. But for the same reason that I made the other dough ahead of time, I'm also not gonna just have us like standing here waiting for another 2 hours so that I can put more cookie trays through the oven, you know? Maybe I will need it too. Oh my goodness, Wazzo. Thank you for the follow. Oh my goodness, Wazzo. That was bad. We got 20 seconds on the clock for the ones in there. And then we'll put the last one in. And then I will tell you what's coming up. I think it's in 2 weeks we're doing another baking stream. I'm pretty sure that's what I figured on. Okay. Gotta pull from the oven. Swing! Swing, bada, bada, bada. I'm really pleased with how simple this recipe is, too. Because if there's one thing I need in my arsenal for Christmas cookies, it's more simple recipes than complicated ones. And that's why a lot of the cookies that get made for Christmas are strictly for Christmas, because they are complicated. They take a little bit. So let me double check here. What did I put for my potential schedule for this month? which is in the Discord if you're ever curious. I try to put a tentative weekly schedule out. Yes, next baking day should be the 21st of September. So that's 2 weeks from today. Let me see if a specific somebody. Yes. Rolls. That one. Little housekeeping while I can. So in that time, when we get there, we're doing a bundt cake. So close to your birthday, let's go. We talked about it, God, was it just last week that I did a baking stream? It was, for cream puffs. And then I went and ended up at the scene of a rollover. Not my rollover. But we were talking about stuff from this book, Best of the Bundt. And we came across a recipe together that I was just like, this is it. This is what I need in my life right now. I just have to re-find it. And I will. Even if it might actually be further back. Let me just look at the index. That's so much easier. The need is strong. Oh my goodness. It was the dark chocolate caramel bundt cake with cream cheese filling on page 35. Yeah, so in 2 weeks, we're making this bad boy. And it is going to be delicious. We are going to modify just a little bit. It does call for caramel chips. I will be making my own caramel. We will be doing caramel from scratch. Looks like death. The most delicious death. So yeah, that is in 2 weeks. That's the next baking stream. Because, God, a good bundt cake is so delicious. So, so delicious. Like, I may even try to get, like, a different bundt cake pan because I only have the one. And then I need to decide on, like, a mini bundt recipe because I have a skull pan. Like, it's a bunch of little skulls, so they'd be single-serving cakes that I want to use for Halloween. And October is next month, so time to take some stuff off of the tray. I am also going to start, I had asked in Discord a while ago after it was brought up if people would actually be interested in a cookbook if I made one. People said yes. This is a long process. When I made the one for my mom's memorial, it was a little easier because I was just making it for family members. This one, however, is going to take me a little longer because I need to filter out things. Obviously, I have to bake all the things. And when I made the memorial cookbook for my mom, I wasn't streaming. I hadn't fully started running my own business. There were like very different circumstances in life. I had a little bit more free time to dedicate to stuff. I don't have the same type of free time right now. So I'm estimating it's probably going to be like a 6-month endeavor Plus, I want to be a little more particular about the recipes that I compile. But I am going to start working on making a cookbook. What is my timer at? Minute and a half, so we can swing back for 90 seconds. Ugh. So, cookbook is going to be in the works. It will be at its own place to purchase other than the Fourth Wall, simply because Fourth Wall doesn't have book publishing, which is fine. It doesn't need to. I will probably go through Lulu Press. That's where I had the one I made in memorial for my mother done. I just have to, you know, block out my real name here on the bottom. But yeah, I made this when my mom passed away, and I think it came out really good with pictures and recipes. And we've made most of the recipes in here that are desserts, actually. And I will include those recipes in the next one, but I'm also considering, like, this is an hors d'oeuvre that my mom used to make called vegetable pizza. And it's just crescent rolls pressed out, and then you make like a Miracle Whip mixture to slather on top with it and cream cheese, and you press chopped veggies and stuff into it. So that's not something I would ever do on stream. It's just not really the vibe of what we do here on stream. It's not the right kind of baking, but I'm thinking I'm going to include a couple of those kinds of things in there because they are something extra that you can get that you wouldn't have otherwise. I said dismiss. Gotta take the cookies out. Your stepmother used to make that for you kids, right? It's so good. It's honestly really tasty for what it is. Yeah, it's like cream cheese Miracle Whip and a packet of ranch dressing for the stuff that you spread on the cooked flattened crescent rolls. And then you just press shit into it and cut it. Voila. Give those like 2 minutes to cool, and then we can take them off, and then it'll be time to go be desktop Sam. So we'll chat for a moment. I'm gonna set my timer for 2 minutes so that I don't lose track of time. You haven't seen that in a long while, right? I think my grandmother was the first one to make it on my dad's side, and then my mom started making it. And honestly, it probably was something that was on the back of a packet of ranch dressing or on the back of crescent rolls, or it was like a combo effort. That's usually where a lot of those kinds of recipes come from. Yep, that's true, Dova. Any way you can shove more veggies in your face and that makes it easier is a good way to go. I agree. I agree. Especially in this day and age where we just generally don't eat enough vegetables. Especially kids. And this is like one of those treats that kids are like, I love this. Probably because of the ranch dressing and cream cheese, let's be honest. You stick ranch dressing and cream cheese on something, even the flavor packet, and I'm like, yep, this is good. This is good shit. That's why you love making soups. Absolutely. There's a recipe my mom used to make for a chili dip. It's literally a package of cream cheese pressed into the bottom of a dish that's microwavable, and then you pour salsa over that, a whole jar, and then I think it's like a can of Hormel chili with or without beans over the top of that, and then you just cover it with a bag of shredded Mexican cheese, and you stick it in the microwave for like 2 minutes. Scoop onto a plate and use tortilla chips in it. Like, it is not healthy, but it's a great party snack. Veggies with an Icelandic name like dotir? Suspicious, right? Right? Broth, veggies, bean, and some protein. So easy, so good. Yeah. Okay, let's take these off the tray. More fish and lamb / goats. Dova does not eat animals. Just humans. Dova is our favorite dragon. Take these on off of here. 10 dozen cookies complete. Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of cookies. These came out really good though. I love how they smell. I love, love, love how they smell. These will be really nice at Christmas time, I can tell. I'm glad we sampled it. So now I know exactly what I'm getting into. I know what the timing should be like. I can make my own little notes so that I'm not guessing during the crunch of holidays. All right, those can sit to cool. I'm gonna spin you guys back like this. And I will meet you in the desktop area in just a minute. Nordic Cooking does love to use those foods. They do. They definitely do. Because that was what was available to them. Like, in the Netherlands, where the Norse were most prevalent, you didn't have as many opportunities with other stuff. So, anyways, quick BRB screen. And I will meet you guys here in just a couple of minutes. I'm leaving room for the inevitable shrinkage. Guys shrink when they're cold, pies shrink when they're hot. Oh my God. The fuck kind of mutant are you? Don't you wiggle your legs at me. No! You stay back! Kelvin, I'm gonna need you to look out. Hey! We got it!
Just saying it was like that, where it was tucked in between things.
Oh my
You're gonna clench
God.
for a moment.
For the elections to the Constituent German National Assembly on January 19, 1919, from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. for the votes listed below, Herr Karl von Schmidt, Frau Madeline von Schmidt, Herr Johannes von Schmidt. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I didn't realize that I had already turned this mic on and you got a little bit of bumping when I plugged these into my speaker bar so that I'm not accidentally backfeeding the music into you guys. I do love me pickled food soap, beets, garlic, carrots, and I love pickled beets. I will pass on the pickled herring. I will pass. You can keep that to yourself, Super Sorcerer. No. No. Definitely no. You guys, I really appreciate you being here with me for this. Pickling and lacto formation is great to stretch the summer. Oh, interesting. I've never heard of lacto formation. You have had pickled herring, though. It's delish. Yeah, no, not for me. Not for me, thanks. I am very much not a fish-liking person, and I definitely have zero desire for pickled fish. I will leave that to other more adventurous people than myself. So I'm just taking a quick peek to see who's on, who's doing what. I'm looking to see if my standard Sunday fellow baker is going. Just to see. Because if I can keep it in the same category for you guys, I will. If not, we will go see a different friend. What is this person making? Where did they go? Where did they go? I just saw them. Did they just end? Did they literally? Nope, there they are. this person is making something I can't pronounce in kimbap. I'm gonna guess that they're both Asian cuisine. Lacto fermentation is actually more nutritious than just pickling. It's what gives me that bacteria funk and the... Oh, interesting. Interesting, Dova. Yeah, let's go see a nacho burrito so that we can stay in this really nice food prep, warm and fuzzy kind of vibe. I'm gonna try to pronounce this, and I know I'm probably saying it wrong. Hotteok? Hotteok. I have no idea how you pronounce that in kimbap. They just got started recently, so they'll be going for a little while, it looks like. And I think it'll be a nice place. They're very friendly, they're very welcoming. I think you guys will greatly enjoy hanging out there, and I appreciate that you guys were able to hang out with me today. This has been wonderful. I love getting to hang out with you guys. So if you're not already, there's the Discord. That's where we hang out between streams. That's where I will let you know if I'm running late, like I was today because I needed the ibuprofen to kick in. It's where I keep my schedule up to date. Just, generally good vibes there. Korean food is amazing. I haven't had very much in the way of Korean food yet. It's definitely on my list of things to try. I just have to be careful with fermented food and spicy food, honestly, because of the IBS. So yes, Discord, great place to hang out. Socials, great place to see what I'm up to in other sections of my life, or to relive, things from the past that have happened on stream in smaller chunks. Highly recommend. If you're subscribed, you're going to be able to use this first raid message with the mandalas that's going to pop up. And if you are not subscribed, then the second one with the hearts is for you. Again, I really appreciate you guys being here. Whether you chatted, you lurked, you subscribed, you resubscribed, you dropped bits and scared Seamus, you raided, however you chose to be here, you did choose to be here, and I really appreciate you for that. Let's go hang out with Nacho Burrito, and I will be back on Wednesday, and I hope to see you guys there. In the meantime, make sure you take a moment to practice some self-care, look yourself in the mirror, and tell yourself that you love you, because you matter, friends, and I really appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day.